Hi guys, welcome to yet another story time. This time the story is it's a bit creepy. Just a disclaimer for anyone that's not really into that stuff. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So this story happened, I think it was a while back, like it's not something that is too recent. So if you know me, you know that I'm not really like an Eastern Cape girly, really. But I do go, obviously, when my family goes, and we just have to be there, and it's mandatory, right? So there was this aunt of mine. This aunt of mine I was very close to. She's my dad's relative. She's on my dad's side of the family. I don't want to get too specific with it, but she's on my dad's side of the family, and her and I got along really well. In terms of like, as much as we didn't see each other often because she obviously lived that side, we would call and whatnot, and she would always be asking my dad about me, and we ended up exchanging numbers, and we ended up talking, and yeah, cool. The problem comes in when we have to go to the Eastern Cape. We're going to visit my grandma. There was something going on with her, so we go to visit her. Sharp, cause stress. Siambeke, so visit makhulu. This aunt of mine, she stays opposite. So if you know, like, the way that the Eastern Cape is situated, like, there's a house here, there's a house up there, there's a house down there. It's not like really your neighbors next door to you and you just can get out and be like, you know what I mean? Like, they're a bit of a distance away from each other. Well, last time I had been there, Prof. So yeah, it was that type of situation, which is not a problem. So she stays like on the opposite side of my grandma's house. Cool. So we come down there, so we get my cousin vibes. It is what it is. Great, ne? And this is the first night that we've been there. This is the first night that this is the night that we arrive. This lady's like, she comes over to my grandma's house, and we finally meet eventually. And obviously we get along and whatnot. We've been talking for like such a long time, and obviously she's family, just that I had never like really met her. Cool. So she's like, listen, how about you stay at my place, and obviously you're still opposite, you're still here, your grandma's here, everyone's here, you're just gonna be like in my house, like stay with me, because she stays by herself. So yeah, cool. Then I ask her, I'm like, okay, no, listen, Makazi needs aunt. I'm like, Makazi, no, Mamela, do you not have any animals and stuff like that? Because I'm not an animal lover. I don't do dogs, I don't do cats, nothing, ne? So she's like, no, I don't have anything. The only thing that I have in my house is like a little rat. And I'm like, a rat? I don't do rats, I don't do anything. She's like, no, it's like in a cage, like a little pit. And I'm like, okay, you know what it is, as long as it's locked up, it's fine. Cool, go over to a place. As figure, you get quite because they say like it's chilled and whatnot. Keep in mind, it's just opposite my grandma's house, so basically I'm still home, ne? Cool. But now, guys, and my parents had warned me. They were like, okay, listen, the person that you're about to meet, ne, like, we don't want to be filling your head with like crazy stuff and whatnot, but listen, it has been rumored in the family that she has been up to a little bit of, you know what I mean, weird stuff, weird shenanigans. And I'm like, what do you mean weird shenanigans? They're like, yeah, no, obviously Elalini means the village. Elalini, she's known to like be into witchcraft and whatnot, and every time something shady happens in the village, she's always the first suspect. And she has been claimed to be seen before, like, you know what I mean, doing some suspicious activity, witchcraft related. And I'm like, are y'all sure we're talking about the same person? Because ain't no ways that the person that I've been talking to my whole entire life is involved in that stuff. Like, don't fill my head with stuff, and I haven't even met this person. I'm not about to listen to that. And at that time I was very chacharachne, so I was like, you know what, no, like, I'm not going to listen to village rumors and whatnot. And as long as y'all haven't seen it for yourselves, or you guys are not telling me what you know, then I'm still going to stay with, you know, this family member, my aunt. Cool. They're like, okay, cool, but like, just be safe and whatnot. But obviously she's family, she won't do anything to you, but like, just be aware of what we're telling you. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Sharp, okay, I'm staying at my aunt's place, we're getting along and whatnot. The problem comes in when at 9 p.m, like, I sleep very late, ne? 9 p.m, this lady would be like, listen, go to bed. go to sleep. Don't come out of your room. Because it's just dark, and obviously when I put the candles out at that time, that was the time of like candles. Ne? She's like, okay, if I put like, obviously I'm gonna put the candle out, it's gonna be dark and whatnot. If you need anything, just give me a shout or whatnot. But like, let's go to sleep. And I'm like, no, but let's chill for a little bit longer. I told my guys, no, actually, it was at 5 to 9. It was at 5 to 9. Every single night at 5 to 9, she'd be like, let's go to sleep. Because I'm going to put the lights off right now. And I'm telling you, like, I'm busy telling her about, like, listen, I don't mind. We can still chill and whatnot. But she'd be so adamant about it. Almost like she's going somewhere. Cool. Yeah. Guys, this one time, I think I needed to, I forgot, I don't know what I forgot. I think it was my phone or something in the dining area, and I was in my room. And I'm like contemplating, flip, should I go out? Should I not go out? Because I know she's very iffy about me walking around like 9 p.m. And I'm like, you know what, Aska, I'm just going to go fetch my phone. Wait, it's not that big of a deal. I get sharp. I go out of my room. And I'm walking outside, like I'm going out of my room. I'm busy, like obviously feeling and whatnot, because obviously she's put the candles out. I'm walking in, there's like a long passage, and right at the end of the passage is her room. That's where I think that's where I had left my phone, because we were chilling in her room last before she walked me to my room. So I'm busy feeling against the wall and whatnot, and I trip. I fall, right? When I fall, like I can hear like a rat, like, you know, those squeaking noises and whatnot. And I screamed, literally, and I screamed. And as I'm screaming, a light goes on, and I think, so it's my aunt. She pressed the phone, and like, the light went on. She had those little, those phones. She switches it on, and she like flashes it on, and she can see that it's me. Did I not scream again after that? Because, like, I just heard her rat, and I know that the only rat that's in the house there is the rat that she normally cages up. So, question is, why is she in the middle of the passage with her rat running around, in fact, out of its cage, and it's dark, and she told me to go to sleep? Why is she sitting out here? And it's the fact that, like, she didn't scream, she didn't get shocked or anything like that. I swear to you, I was walking and I tripped, and this thing started screaming, this little rat, whatever that she keeps in her little cage. And she just put on her phone to check that it's me, and that was that. Like, almost like she was not fazed at all. In fact, almost like she saw me coming. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, why are you, like, first of all, why are you in the passage? Second of all, why are you chilling with your rat in the passage in the dark with the candles out, but you told me to go to sleep? Guys, and I swear, like, my heart was beating out of my chest. Like, and this lady is just staring at me. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I forgot my phone and whatnot in your room, and I just wanted to go fetch it and whatnot. Like, she just looks at me, almost like she's in a trance. And I scurry off to her room. I get my phone and I go back to my own room. Guys, and we didn't talk about it. Strange thing is, we didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about the next day. We didn't talk about it the day after. And I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah. And another thing that I hadn't mentioned to my parents is the fact that, like, ever since I had been into a house, like, you know, when you feel like the skin on the back of your neck, like, rising and whatnot. But, like, I feel like I was like, okay, maybe this is due to the story that I had heard from my parents. But, like, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna just be paranoid and whatnot. I'm just gonna ignore the feeling. But it was something that I felt every single day, like, guys, like goosebumps, like, I just can't explain the feeling. And another crazy thing, after I had caught her that night in the middle of the hallway with her rat sitting there in the dark, I started dreaming of her. Every single night around 9 p.m. when I would go to bed, not even a few minutes later, like after I'd fallen asleep, she would appear in my dream, and she would just be standing there staring at me. Guys, sana. And at this point, I was like, okay, I think low-key I have had enough. Né? But I'm not trying to tell my parents this, because I'm not trying to feed into their story. And I feel like I was busy telling myself, but no, man, I'm just being paranoid, and I'm putting 2 and 2 together where 2 and 2 does not go together. But clearly 2 and 2 is coming together. Like, why are you doing shady stuff at 9 p.m. in the passage, in the house with your rat? And why am I obliged to go to bed every single night at 9 p.m? And why do you always pop up in my dreams ever since that night that I caught you? Right? Does not make sense. Corner off conduct shy mans. Ne? Fine. No problem. Then, Guys, this lady tells me, she's like, no, listen, I'm gonna go somewhere. She believes in like traditional stuff, okay? We are Christians and whatnot, but my aunt, she believes in traditional stuff and whatnot. Nah, fine, like these rituals and whatnot. So she's going to this retreat type of thing with the village people, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, no, can I just stay behind and like look after the house and whatnot? Obviously, my family is just opposite. If anything happens, and yeah, as long as I sleep there, she's fine. As long as I sleep in her house, even if I'm gone for the whole day, with my family, obviously. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. No problem. I don't mind. Cool. Yeah. Guys, like I feel the goosebumps on my skin already. Like this lady left. Ne? She left. Literally, she left. She even called. She said, listen, I've arrived at the place and whatnot. Cool. So now it's late at night, and obviously I'm afraid to sleep by myself, but I'm like, ugh, you know what, let me just be a big girl about it. Like, it is what it is. And at that time, like, I was very jajarach, like I said. So I was like, so I told my brother, no, you don't have to stay with me in the house. I'm cool, whatever. It's my responsibility to look after it. I will look after the house. Cool. This is the Eastern Cape, guys. After hearing so many stories, but I'm still like, I'll look after it. Cool. Guys, I'm telling you, at 9 p.m., right? This time around, I don't go to bed. Because I'm like, she's not here. It's not a big deal, so I'm going to stay awake. 9 p.m. I don't go to bed. Ne? I'm hearing these rat noises all over the house. Keep in mind, we have one rat that is caged up. So why am I hearing these rat noises? And on top of these rat noises, it sounds like somebody's in the house. Like, I'm hearing a voice. I'm assuming, okay, maybe it's, maybe, like, in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe someone needs to check up on me. Maybe it's my brother or my dad or whoever. Maybe they're outside. But the strange thing is they sound like they're in the house. And how can they be in the house with the keys with me literally under my pillow? You know what I mean? But like I'm still hearing these squeaking noises. And I know that we only have one rat. But it sounds like there's plenty of rats just running around outside. Like, man, the story is not adding up. And I'm afraid to come out of my room. And when I'm trying to call on my phone, I can't network. One thing about the Eastern Cape, there's no network. I'm trying to call and my dad's be like, yo, listen, is that you that's outside? What is going on? I'm hearing voices and I'm hearing rats all over the place. Like, Dinsang, what's going on? No network, sharp. At this point, I'm failing to go to sleep, so I get up. Guys, I get up, I put my torch on, put my flashlight on, and I come out of my room. As I'm coming out of my room, it goes silent. Like, it goes silent, it goes absolutely quiet. From all the noise that was going on outside my room, it literally goes silent. I'm like, what is going on? Cool. I'm slowly walking it towards the door. And I'm like, guys, in every horror movie, I've always screamed at people that walk towards like where they can hear that the danger is. But like here I am walking towards the door. It's so go 9. Around the time that I'm supposed to be asleep every other day when my aunt is here. I walk towards the door. Guys, when I open the door, I'm like trying to peek through the window. I can't see anything. It's pitch black. If you've been to the Eastern Cape, you know, like when it's dark, dog. Like you can barely see your finger in front of you. I open the door. Because obviously there are no street lights outside. I open the door. When I open the door and I'm looking down, I'm looking outside, I can't see anything. And I'm busy flashing my light. I flash my light towards the direction of the garden. My aunt loved to be in the garden gate during the day and whatnot. As I flash my light towards the direction of the garden, do I not see my aunt standing there? Like in the garden, in the middle of the garden, staring at the house. Ooh, guys, I ran out of that house so fast. Because this lady's not here. She's not supposed to be in the village. She's like far, like, she's at a retreat with her traditional people, whatnot. And I was talking to her, in fact, just before I went to sleep, like around 8 p.m. And she was wherever she was with her people and whatnot. So how is she here in the village, in the garden, staring at her house? Or am I seeing things? What is going on? And she's just staring at her house. Woo! Guys, the way that I ran out of there, and I don't know why I ran. At that point, my mind was like, no, that cannot be her. And if it is her, something fishy is going on because she cannot be in 2 places at once. And I know damn well that she does not have a twin. Why is it Katin in Jongil? Guys, I ran out of there. Like, I ran out of there towards my grandma's house. Because remember, I said they stay opposite. They don't stay too far from each other. Like, and it was dark, guys, pitch black. But I'm busy running. Like, I was running for my life and I was screaming. By the time I got to Ayadin, my dad's already outside, my brother's outside, my mom's outside. Everyone is like, what is going on? And I'm busy, like, I'm frantic. I'm like, I just saw my guys in the garden staring at her house. They're like, what do you mean she's not here? And I'm like, exactly, she's not here. I was hearing weird noises. I go outside. She's in the middle of the garden, just there. She's standing, like, and she's just staring at our house. Like, yo, guys, my grandma was like, Ben what did I tell you about that lady? What did I tell you? Guys, like, my skin is crawling just thinking about it right now. Like, my skin is crawling. Then my dad, my brother, my mom, my grandma, everyone, they went to my aunt's house and they just started praying and whatnot. We outside the house and we just praying. We are praying. One thing about my parents, they will pray. As we're praying, guys, we start smelling this smoke, this smoke, and it's coming from inside the house. And I'm trying to think, hey man, did I leave the gas stove on? Like, what is going on? Like, there's just like a smell like going on. Cool. And then we see a frog. And if you are, I don't know if it's an African thing or whatnot, but if you see a frog, it's a sign of like Jacobi Kashuba. Why isele in the middle of the night, like livelapi. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. So a frog just means something bad. We start praying and whatnot. My dad also burns. He gets a match and he burns the frog, whatnot. Whatnot. They lock the door and whatnot. The smell, the smell of smoke goes away, and then we go to my grandma's house and I sleep there and whatnot, and I'm fine. I'm telling y'all, about a couple days later, Umakazi arrives. When Umakazi arrives, we hear about it from Makulba. Man, Umakazi boile kanyo mkoba no beke wa phone or whatnot. I'm not ready to see her. I am absolutely not ready to see her after what happened. I am not ready to see her. I don't even want to face her and ask her what happened. And I think my grandma was the one that took my stuff from my aunt's place. She took my stuff from there. She brought them back. Cool. And I think, guys, that was that. That same week, my family and I had been obviously going back home. Now we had to go back to Cape Town, and that was that. When we got to Cape Town, guys, I kid you not, my grandma gave us a phone call and she was like, listen, I went to go see Umakazi namhlanje. Uchile. And we're like, what do you mean Uchile? She's like, she's burnt. Like, she is burnt. She's got burn marks all over her body. And I'm asking her what is going on. She's not telling me what's happening. She's just like, yeah, no, it's part of a ritual thingy. She doesn't want to talk about it. But like, Uchile, like all over. And the first image that popped into my head was that frog that my dad had burnt last night. And yo, if you think about it, I saw her in the garden. We came over to pray. All of a sudden, there was a frog just in the middle of nowhere as we were praying, and it's just staring at us. My dad burns it, obviously, because it's a sign of like just pure evil. And all of a sudden, she's burnt. Guys, like guys, they took only from that day on, it's blocked, delete, moved on. And you guys and my parents are because I was not supposed to be staying with my aunt by myself in the first place. I was supposed to be there with her and someone else, but I was like, no, this is my aunt. I want to chill. I want to bond. So by bonding in traumatized because I got goosebumps just thinking about this story. Yo, guys, in fact, wow. Guys, anyways, but that's it for today. I just felt like sharing that story with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And you guys are not creeped out too much. Otherwise, continue liking, sharing, and subscribing. And thank you so much for tuning in.